Welcome to the Saturday Sports Line. Since 1969, the premier sports show about local high school sports, featuring coaches, players, and special guests. Now, here is your host of the Saturday Sports Line, Kankakee Valley Broadcasting's WKVI Sports Director, Mitch Columbi, and sports analyst, Chris McGowan.
Back for more from the Pulaski Memorial Hospital studios. This is the longest running high school sports show in Indiana, the Saturday Sports Line. Well, we're so glad you've joined us. A lot is going on this coming week for us. We start our 2024 spring sports broadcast season. This coming Monday, we'll talk about that here in a few moments. But today on tap, my goodness, so many sports going on. Let's go down the list. Starting in track and field, the Winamac Warriors are hosting their invitational today at 10 a.m. Eastern. The Knox Redskins track and field team are at the Oak Hill Relays. 10 a.m. Central is their start time. Real quick, though, I wanted to mention, along with track and field, South Central Satellites' Dayton Merli broke a school record of 13 feet in the pole vault. The original record was 12 feet 9 inches set in 1975, so I wanted to give a big, quick shout-out to Dayton Merli of South Central Track and Field. We will have head coach Derrick of the South Central track team at the bottom of this hour, so stay tuned, Satellite Nation. We're taking care of you. Moving on into girls tennis, the North Judson-San Lady Blue Jays are at New Prairie this morning, 10 a.m. Central. Right at the end of this show is when that game starts. Switching over to boys golf. Yeah, there's 6 sports going on in the spring. Track, girls tennis, boys golf, boys volleyball, softball, and baseball. It's crazy right now. Boys golf, the West Central Trojans and the Oregon Davis Bobcats boys golf team heads to the Caston Invite today. 9 a.m. Eastern is the start. Actually, that just started just a couple of minutes ago, so good luck to the Trojans and the Bobcats. Also, the Knox Redskins and the South Central Satellites boys golf team head to the Marquette Catholic Invite. 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Central is tea time for the boys. No boys volleyball games happening today. Of course, we talked last week with South Central head coach of the boys volleyball team, Paul Fossauer. Great interview that was. The softball teams that are happening, a lot of softball today. The West Central Lady Trojans, they are on a tear right now. Hosting Morgan Township, 11 a.m. Eastern is the scheduled first pitch. The Winamac Lady Warriors host Northfield at 10 a.m. Eastern today. They are having a dedication of their new field. We unfortunately weren't able to broadcast that game today. I didn't want to shorten the Saturday Sports Line to 30 minutes, but that is getting underway here shortly, the dedication and the ceremony. I've been told our very own Harold Welter is there to be the master of ceremony. So at least WKVI will have some sort of representation at that beautiful field the Winamac Lady Warriors had built for them over the last year. The Culver Lady Cavaliers are hosting Washington Township today, 11 a.m. Eastern. The Knox Lady Redskins are at the Lebanon Tiger Invite, 11 a.m. Central. They're going to play 3. It's a triple header for the Knox Lady Redskins today. They play at 11 a.m. Central, then 3 p.m. Central, and then finally tonight at 7 p.m. Central. My goodness. The parents are very strong going through today. It's going to be a lot of fun for them. And then finally, the South Central Ladies Satellite Softball team hits the road and heads to Bremen. 11 a.m. Central is their start time. Finally, in baseball, we see the West Central Trojans hosting Pioneer today. 10 a.m. Eastern is the scheduled first pitch. The South Central Satellites Boys Baseball Club is hosting New Prairie. First pitch is scheduled at 11 a.m. Eastern. We will talk with head coach Brent Jones on the line here in this hour, getting ready for that game today. Of course, we're going to see the South Central Satellites this coming Monday take on their PCC rival, the Tri-Township Tigers. Man, I am so excited to get our spring sports season started. Myself, along with sports analyst Nathan Orger. Yeah, Nathan's coming back around for another go. So excited to have Nathan with us for the majority of the season. We'll also have a new sports analyst we're bringing on to the crew. Kevin Hannon, a former baseball coach in our area. Very excited to have him on some broadcasts this season, as well as our very own Justin Ruff. You remember him through football and basketball season, always doing a fantastic job. We've got the guys, and we are going to be making the trip around to our 8 area schools this spring season to see baseball and softball. If you missed the schedule, we posted it on our social media pages this past weekend. It was on Instagram at WKVI Sports, on X, formerly Twitter at KVB Sports, and on Facebook, of course, at sportstothemax.net. That way you know exactly where we will be throughout this spring sports season. We had a rescheduled game for the Winamac Warriors Baseball Club. They were originally scheduled to take on Rensselaer Central last night. Due to the weather, that did not happen. It was postponed to this morning. 11 a.m. Eastern is the scheduled first pitch. And finally, I wanted to make this announcement. I got a text from head coach Mark Hall of the West Central football team. The football team is holding a fish fry on Saturday, April 20th at the West Central High School cafeteria. They're raising money for equipment and supplies. It's running from 4 to 7 p.m. Eastern, so make sure to support the Trojans football team. Always a lot of fun to broadcast West Central Trojan football. We got a couple of games in last year. A lot of fun when you get to go to the Trojan Trench, so support the West Central Trojans football team. Have some fish. I love a good fish fry. April 20th, 4 to 7 p.m. Eastern. Man, that is everything that is going on in our area today as we transition to Knox baseball with head coach Dustin Waters. Coach, it's nice to finally meet you. Good morning. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Well, I wanted to talk about this team. Things probably haven't changed too much. You had a lot of returning players. We talked about one of them, in fact, just a moment ago before we went on the air. But go down the list. Tell us about the young men we need to know about on this Knox Redskin Baseball Club.
So we've got 7 seniors coming back, a couple of those coming back from injury. One of them didn't play last year, but will be a big part of where we get to this year. On the mound, Logan Taylor's our senior pitcher there. He's got a couple years of experience on the mound there, and then he'll be followed up by Ray Boyd, a junior pitcher that learning how to maneuver through a game. And then Landon Howard, the senior that did not play last year, but he'll be a big part of our staff. And then down the list, Rocco Venice, Owen Jesuit, Xavier Boyd, a sophomore. He's got a lot of baseball under his belt. And then kind of another sophomore that I've talked into pitching, Aiden Schieber. He's a lefty, throws kind of from the half arm, sidearm kind of slot.
Sure.
But that's our staff. Across the outfield, we should be fairly fast. Miles McLaughlin coming back to baseball after a couple of years away. Keegan Everidge, Jaden Strong, and then Garen Phipps will be out there as well. And then across the infield, Rowan Jordan, Nolan Short at first, Kane Weber, a sophomore that caught some varsity time last year, and then Carter Jordan, a junior that'll be kind of our utility player.
Man, a lot of the names I recognize from football season, basketball season. When you get 2 and 3 sport athletes on your team as a head coach, do you like that?
Yeah, I mean, you want to see athletes, but above that, you want them to be baseball guys too.
Yeah.
A lot of these guys play football, basketball, and then in the spring, you get them 2-3 weeks later than you'd like to have them.
Sure.
And then, it takes a bit of time to get them back into baseball, but having athletes is good, and we've got a lot of them.
Well, let's talk a little bit of philosophy. I've talked with head coach Mark Hendricks before. He likes to leave his pitchers on no more than maybe 3.5, maybe 4 innings, if that. I've talked with Tri-Township head coach Mike Shinrod. He'll let the guy go the whole game if he can make it happen. What do you like to do in terms of keeping your pitchers on the mound? So
what we've come up with is a philosophy of 20 to 3. If they can stay inside of that 20 to 3 window, they can get late into a game and keep their pitch counts down. And that being we've got 20 pitches to get 3 outs.
Yeah.
Learn how to maneuver around the game. We've got a lot of speed in the outfield. We shouldn't be afraid of pitching in the zone or working around and trying to get fly balls or ground balls. our overall philosophy is, as we build the program, basically from the ground up, is we will eventually be the best defensive team that anybody sees. And, we spend 45 to an hour and 15 minutes every practice just on defense. And that's, for the pitching staff, that's a huge boost when you get that rollover ground ball, or you get a ball in the outfield that, this year is going to be coming out.
Yeah.
So don't be afraid to work in the zone and keep your pitch counts down. Because once we get past our starters and some of our upperclassmen relievers, you look at someone like Ray and then Xavier Boyd. They are literally the same body type. So when you put them on the mound, their arm slots are pretty close to the same, and you're not really giving a hitter a different look. But, you could go Ray and then Landon. Landon's a big kid, a little different look, throws a little harder. So a lot of it is just how do we get our starters late into the game so that our relievers can come in and fill the role that we need them to do.
Sure.
Whether it's face one hitter and get him out, or it's, go one time through the lineup and then we'll get you out of there. So it's going to be interesting to see how they do. The weather in northwest Indiana isn't great.
It's not been fun lately.
So, we're going to open our conference schedule Monday with Judson, with having played one game out of 4, I think it is. So,
yeah, you talk about Judson, and we're going to see you on Tuesday. Of course, you play North Judson-San Pierre on Monday. Then you'll play them on Tuesday. We will see you guys hosting the Blue Jays. Of course, the historic rivalry nobody misses in this area. I know you know about that, Coach. This is your first year as the head coach of Knox baseball. What is the message to the Redskins when it comes time to play the Blue Jays? I've been told by several coaches you really don't have to say much.
No. Yes, it's a rivalry, but they're a team that's standing in the way of one of our goals. So go out, take care of business. And, baseball's a weird game. You can have a no-hitter through 5 and then lose a game 1-0, right? I mean, but inevitably we're going to go out, we're going to do what we do. And, we're not taking anybody for granted this year.
Who you have with you at the coaching staff?
So I've got Ben Taylor. He's a returner. I think he's been there 3 or 4 years now at the varsity level. And then I've got Dave Short that's kind of doing the stats and keeping the dugout in order. And then we've got Chuck Linhart that stepped in to do JV this year.
Oh, nice.
Good addition. So that's where we're at with the staff.
Yeah, it's probably pretty good. Some schools aren't able to have a JV team sometimes with numbers. You guys are able to have a JV team and work your underclassmen. Talk about how much that means to you and your vision for the program in the future.
Yeah, so, last year I think we had 20 kids, and it made, those nights where we had a JV game and a varsity game going on a little difficult. We'd take, 10 to a varsity game and 10 or 11 to a JV game. The biggest thing is they got to play baseball. I mean, you can do live ABs at practice and whatever, but it's completely different than when you're in a game. So the more games we can get these kids playing, the better off we'll be. And we've got some good talent at the JV level. Some kids that are kind of right on the fence on if they're going to be, a JV player, they're going to be a varsity player. But there's some pretty good freshmen in that group that are coming up. Cam Duff, he's got a ton of speed. Oakley Carbine, he's a baseball kid. Connor Linhart, a big kid. And then Emmett King. A lot of new faces I haven't seen, having only been here for a year.
Sure.
I started at Knox with the middle school program 2 years ago. So that's the sophomore group this year. Familiar with those guys. Last year as a JV, so I know pretty much everybody is here. But the freshmen, it's fun to see them come in and kind of learn.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and it's building the program for what you see in the future. What is the goal this year? Your first year, what goal have you maybe set for yourself or maybe set for the team?
So we got together early in the practice schedule with, the varsity and the JV and came up with, everybody write down 8 or 10 goals as a group. And then we pared those down. We've got, obviously HNAC is big on our list. Seniors want to make a run deep into the sectionals. Our sectionals loaded this year. So the overall main goal right now is take care of HNAC. Yeah. And I think that's a conference that it's got some baseball schools in it. I think we've underperformed with what we have over the last few years. Last year going into the last 4 games, I think we had a chance to win that conference and just kind of fell short there at the end. We lost 2 to Judson, lost 2 to Winnemac. Kind of took the wind out of our sails a little bit going into sectionals. And then we went into sectionals and played a 2-0 game against Tibby Valley, a game that we were projected to lose by 8. Had runners in scoring position quite a few times and just couldn't get that hit to tie it up or, move us ahead in that game. But I think overall, whether it's wins and losses, we're not going to pay too much attention to that. We need to build a foundation and something that, the seniors, when they leave, can look back in a couple of years and go, yeah, we started that. So that's where we're at goal-wise.
Some things I've talked with several of the boys, of course, they've been either our Tyler Roth WKVI Athlete of the Week or we've talked to them just in interviews. And one thing I gather from this Knox Redskin group, especially the guys that they're just really good friends and they hang out outside of school. Talk about how important that is when you have a team that has a good camaraderie.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the senior group, they've seen some success. All the football players, coming in, they know how to win, obviously, with the program we have. And that does carry over across all sports, and they're competitive. They want to win. You do always battle that kind of I had a 0 for 4 day and, team still won, but I played like crap kind of thing. But I think generally speaking across, the entire group or the entire program, the kids want to get better and they want to win. And that's, part of that is as a first-year coach coming in and building a program and building kind of a culture of the wins and losses will take care of themselves. Personally, that's all I need to worry about is, and baseball is kind of a unique sport. It's 9 kids playing on a team, but everyone has their own individual job to do. And making sure they're all aware of what their individual job is every single pitch and making sure that, whether you go 0 for 4 at the plate or, but you field 100%, 4 ground balls to the shortstop turn into outs or whatever, I think you got to leave the offense on the offensive side and, see the defensive side and whatnot. But overall, we have a really good group of kids that, want to get better and want to win. And we started weights in November and had 8, 9, 10 kids there every day, which was kind of surprising, because
it was a test. What's the dedication like? Right.
Yeah. And, a lot of kids responded to it well. So we're excited. That's for sure.
Well, let's talk a little bit about you. What is it about baseball you love? Why do you want to coach? Just talk. What is it about this sport that you like?
Baseball's given me a lot in my life, and it's something that, playing baseball gave me the chance to be the first college graduate in my family.
Where'd you play?
A lot of places, but graduated from Garrett High School in the northeast side of the state. My senior year, I had a coach come in, Brett Ratcliffe. I think he's at Trine now. He's a USA baseball talent scout. Taught me all the things that I didn't know about the game, like how to play at a higher level. And playing up through college and learning the game at a whole different level in college. And then, having the ability to show the kids the small things. They're athletes, but there's small things you can do in the game that change how they perform. And being able to show them, the little tips and tricks and stuff like that. It's pretty rewarding. And, I've got a son coming up into the program. Eventually he's in 5th grade. And
that'd be cool.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. Be able to coach your son, do that. That's probably a dream of yours.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. But, I want to give the kids the opportunity that, if they want to play college baseball, there's a bunch of places you can play.
Here's where we need to start.
Yep.
And you've got the blueprint.
Hopefully. So.
Well, Coach, I sure do appreciate you coming in. I'm excited about Tuesday. Of course, we'll find out what happens on Monday, but you'll get to host the North Judson-San Pierre Blue Jays on Tuesday. Very excited to see you guys for the first time this season, weather permitting. Boy, cross your fingers about the rain holding up.
I think there's rain in the forecast in the morning and then hopefully clearing up. And
well, if you need help out on the field, let me know because I want that game to happen.
Yeah,
Coach.
we all need the games to happen. So
amen. Well, Coach, you enjoy the rest of your weekend. I sure do appreciate your time. I'm honored that you came in and had a chance to talk with us a little bit about the Knox Redskins.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, that is head coach of the Knox Redskins Baseball Club, Dustin Waters, here on the Saturday Sports Line. We're going to take a quick break, come back. We're going to talk with Al Breyfogle about the Griddy Awards happening in Indianapolis tomorrow. This is the Saturday Sports Line.
At First Farmers Bank and Trust, agriculture has been a cornerstone of our business for more than 135 years. Our personal relationships within the ag community run deep for multiple generations. If you're looking for a financial partner that knows, understands, and supports agriculture, I'd love to hear from you. I'm Isaac Blue, ag banker at First Farmers. Come into our Knox, North Judson, or Culver branches, or visit us online at ffbt.com when you're ready to talk about growing your operation. First Farmers Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal opportunity lender.
Stay tuned for more sports talk with Mitch Columbi and Chris McGowan on the longest running high school sports show in Indiana, the Saturday Sports Line.
Pulaski Memorial Hospital. Quality care closer to home. Pulaski Memorial Hospital is all about community and keeping our community spotlight shining on the accomplishments of our youth. That's why PMH is proud to be a sponsor of our local high school sports action on WKVI, our community radio station. Pulaski Memorial Hospital. Quality care closer to home.
Coke Zero is now Coke Zero Sugar, with great Coke taste. Some people were excited to hear the news. Some were skeptical. So we're not going to have the star of the show you're watching come out and say, "You'll love it." No special jingle written by this week's hottest pop star. No famous internet celebs who happen to be holding the label just so. Okay, maybe just one little pour shot. The only thing that will make you believe Coke Zero Sugar has great Coke taste is trying it yourself. Ice cold Coke Zero Sugar. Try one today.
You're listening to Mitch Columbi and Chris McGowan on Kankakee Valley Broadcasting's WKVI.
From the Pulaski Memorial Hospital studios, this is the Saturday Sports Line. Mitch Columbi along with sports analyst Chris McGowan. There you are, Chris.
Yeah.
How are you this morning?
Oh, I'm doing pretty good. Sorry about that. I had a phone call I had to take. So
no, you're good, man.
Just doing some little personal business. But
this is weird. I usually have you sitting here, but now we have a special guest in the house. It's Al Breyfogle.
The last time I sat here, Mr. Radke kicked me out of my chair, if you remember that.
Right.
So
that's right. Yeah.
He sat here and Russ said, "Get out of here. That's my seat."
My seat. He said, "We're 9-0 in that seat. I'm not giving it up." So,
and they got all the way to semi-state.
Yeah. Next year, I'm not giving it up.
Hopefully he's not listening.
I don't care if he's listening.
He might be. It's all right.
I know, Russ. I don't care.
Well, Al, I wanted to have you on. This weekend's a big weekend for you. We've had you on before. You do a lot for local high school sports, just not in this area, but for the state of Indiana. And you're a part of a lot of historic things that has been done here in Indiana for a long time. I know the Griddy Awards are just a small part of what you do, but go ahead. Tell us about this weekend, and also tell us a little bit about what you've been working on lately.
What I've been working on lately.
You're always busy, Al.
I've been trying to stay out of trouble. I'm retired. I got 4 W-2s last year. And my tax guy was like, "I thought you were retired."
You're not retired.
Well,
Wait, time out. You're trying to stay out of trouble. Trouble usually finds me. I don't know about you, but you're trying to stay out of it?
Yeah, I'm trying to stay out of it.
Well, that's good.
I'm trying to stay out of it.
I don't have an option.
My daughter did threaten to take my car keys. We haven't get another job. But anyhow,
my gosh.
Been working on stuff with Paul at Regional Radio Sports Network and Indiana Football Digest. Paul Condry is the founder of both of those, and that's where the Griddies were born. Paul is a visionist as far as I do such minor. I mean, I try to promote Winnemac and promote this area as much as, just like I told Coach Waters, man, if Knox is playing, I'll support you, unless you're playing Winnemac, and then because I have to live there. So
yeah.
Anyhow,
which Coach Waters said something out in the lobby. He said he forgot to mention.
Hit it.
The freshman Justin Downs had a heck of a game the other night. So I told him I'd make sure to get that on the air. Great job by Justin Downs for the Redskins.
My boy Justin, I knew you could do it, buddy. So anyhow, so we've been working up till now to get the Griddies started, get the awards ready. This is, I believe, the 19th year for the Griddies. So at the Griddy, a lot of things happen. Paul wanted to start something for the kids to be recognized with family. We can't. We have it at the Colts training facility on 56th in Indy. So that's where it's at. So Mr. Irsay and the Colts are more than happy to allow us to use that facility. We use their catering service. I don't want to get into a lot of it, but I'm going to tell you, the Colts do so much for high school football in the state of Indiana. I mean, so much, guys. I could tell you stories that, you just...
Well, their emblem is on every sectional, regional, semi-state, and state trophy.
They do so much. So the first couple of years, the Griddies weren't there, and then Paul hooked up with Mr. Irsay because Paul is actually on the committee to choose the coach of the week each week, and then those coaches at the end of the year get to go to a Colts game, get to go out on the field, be recognized. So we've been getting the football digest together. So at the Colts facility, everybody that's all state. I mean, you have to make 2 all-state teams, and then you also have to meet certain grade requirements. Not just everybody gets a Griddy. I mean, it's a thing. When people find out they're getting a Griddies, it's a thing. And I can't say any names here today because we don't release any information until the day after the Griddies. So I don't want to
give us anything.
I'll be there.
Okay.
And you guys will be there.
Yes.
Yeah, we got invited.
You guys got the VIP table, brother. I'm telling you.
That's what we've been told.
When you walk in, there's going to be like a aura around you as you escorted to your table.
Well, we're excited, Al. Our very own WYMR Max 98.3 FM's Tony Ross, of course, was awarded a Griddy Award last year.
Yep.
That was where I kind of learned a little bit about the Griddies. But what takes place this year that you can share with us that may be different from years past?
Okay. One thing that has kind of gotten a little bit different, we take the cover photo now for the Indiana Football Digest at the Griddies.
Oh, very
We used to fluctuate where we went. I know one year we went to Purdue University up in the parking lot, and Coach Kennedy, who's now at KV, him and a bunch of his biker buddies brought all their Harleys, and the kids sat on Harleys. We used to do a little bit different, but now we do it at the Griddies. So our primetime 25 will get their photo taken, and it's kind of neat because the facility, the banquet where we have the dinner and have the banquet at, is attached to the practice field, the indoor practice field for the Colts. So like the blinds are like closed, so the kids are kind of milling around, and we're like, okay, it's time to do the photo. Let's do the photo for the cover. And their parents all gather, and they do it. And these stinking blinds go up, and here's this indoor practice facility with all the Colts, all their stuff on the wall and stuff, and the kids are like drooling, and they're like, pushing to get out there, which is kind of cool for them to allow us to do that. So we'll take that photos early. The banquet actually starts at 1. If you want guys going to get there, 12:15, 12:30, there's some Colts memorabilia out on the hallway, and you can hobnob. There'll be a lot of coaches there. The only downfall to the Griddies is we can't fit 1,000 people in there, because if we could, boys, I'm telling you, we could sell the tickets, because the tickets sell out fast.
Wow.
We have 400 to 420 people each year, and it's
from schools around the entire state.
In the entire state. Whoever's getting a Griddy gets an invitation. That person gets a ticket, and then they're allowed to purchase other tickets.
Wow.
So tickets go fast. I know Bryn Robbins, who plays for my grandson at LCC, he's getting a Griddy this year, and I told his family, I said, the minute you get your thing in the mail, get online and get your tickets, because we sell out every year, and it's kind of a shame, but it's just it's what it is. So everybody will gather, and we'll have a dinner first. There'll be a couple guest speakers. I get to do the invocation tomorrow, so I've really it'll be the first time ever I wrote a speech.
Wow, you're actually going to write it and read it.
No, I don't know if I'm going to read it, but it's written. Everybody's like, wait, you said you speak from the heart and soul. I said, I do, but man, this is big time,
Write from the heart and soul.
I might write this one. So I didn't write the Brad Breyfogle Spirit of Sport Award yet, but anyhow, it's up here. My wife used to ask me, where is your speech? I would just point to my head, and she'd just shake her head and walk away. She didn't know how I did it. So we'll gather, and we'll do that, and we'll eat, take about 45 minutes to eat, and then we'll start giving out the awards. The state champions all get 3 awards. They get a coach's award, a school award, and then a captain award. So each one gets 3 Griddies. The runner-ups get Griddies. Coach of the year. The one thing I really want to mention here is we do the Jason Kuntz Badge of Courage Award. Jason Kuntz, a young man that works for us at Regional Radio Sports, Indiana Football Digest, passed away from a brain tumor years ago. His dad used to coach at South Bend Clay. Mike Kuntz. Yep. You've heard Mike or not. So we give the the Jason Kuntz Badge of Courage Award, and then we started actually before Brad passed away. We started doing the Brad Breyfogle Spirit of Sport Award, and it's something Paul and I kind of talked about because my son was 5 foot nothing, weighed 100 nothing, and made every practice, made every game, did everything he ever asked to do as a teammate, and so that's just kind of what we want to kind of recognize people that aren't necessarily the star. And we do the same thing with Brad's scholarship at the high school. This year I'll be awarding 2 scholarships, a male and a female, for the Brad Breyfogle Spirit of Sport scholarship at Winamac. So
that's cool. I was going to ask, can you release who are the guest speakers tomorrow? Can you release that? No?
I can't even say that.
No, I know.
I know Paul's listening because he knows I'm on, so I'm really being careful here.
Right.
But it is a local college coach that was going to be speaking, but it's one of the assistants. The coach could make it, and then there will be 2 other gentlemen that will speaking that will hold the attention of the players like for a total time.
Wow.
Because they're ex-players. No, I will say that. They're ex-professional players.
You can say that.
Yeah, I can say that. So getting back to what I wanted.
Ex-pro player.
I'm sorry.
That's pretty cool.
Retired pro player. Yeah.
Still pretty cool.
So, and they did a great job last year, not even knowing they were going to speak because we didn't know because the Purdue head coach was supposed to speak and he was out in the parking lot during the beginning of the banquet trying to get clearance from the NCAA to come in and speak with high school kids there, and he couldn't get. Yeah, Walters couldn't get in. Right. So anyhow, I want to mention Tim Roth here because Tim Roth is the only person to ever in the history of the Griddies win the Jason Kuntz Badge of Courage Award and the Brad Breyfogle Spirit of Sport Award from Winamac. So he won Jason's Badge of Courage Award when he was fighting cancer years ago, and then he won the Brad Breyfogle Spirit of Sport Award just because I love him. So if anybody wants to argue that, I'll meet you out in the parking lot. I'm up here at KVI. Afterwards, I'll hobble out there and we'll settle the
Be careful.
settle the issue.
I got your back, I guess. How about that?
I'll go out here and there'll be 4 coaches hanging out, football coaches. Oh shoot! So yeah, it's something for the kids. They get to dress up. They're not coming in blue jeans and sweatshirts. There's requirements to meet. They have to. The primetime 25 have to be in a certain type of dress to get their pictures taken for the cover and stuff. And of course, they bring their helmets and jerseys and stuff. So it's just a gathering to recognize high school kids in a more formal atmosphere instead of in the gym at the school for awards night, which there's nothing wrong with the local ones. But Paul always wanted to recognize in front of people, wanted to do something big for kids that paid the price, practiced hard, were successful, won games, helped teammates, or whatever. So that's
so where does the word gritty come from?
Well, I don't know really because it's something Paul came up with because I think it was like the Grammys. We came up with the Griddies because it's a gridiron,
Gridiron,
Right. So
very cool.
That's pretty much where it came from.
I like that. And I also wanted to make a comment. We of course announced this several weeks ago. You mentioned Russ Radke. Of course, he was chosen as one of the coaches for the North-South football All-Star team.
Yes.
But also your grandson. I think that's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool.
Winamac alum.
Yes. Some people say it's not good to brag, but you know what? If you can't give credit to your kids, your grandkids, then you're wrong. This isn't bragging. It's just a fact. The kid has done an amazing job at LCC. Been there 5 years. He has a state championship ring. He has many all-state players. He had back-to-back small school defensive player of the year in the Lafayette area. One of them being Brent Robbins, who has a family connection of ours. And now he's going to be an all-star coach, and he's not 25 yet. And I'm like, son, what are you going to do for an encore?
Right.
Where do you go from here? And but he puts his heart and soul into coaching. He's one of the kids, his very first youth league football game. I forget who we were playing. The team, the runner took off around the right side sweep. There was 10 Winamac players chasing him, and there was one Winamac player going all the way across the field the other direction. And that was the guy that made the tackle, and that was Gavin. He knew the angle of pursuit. He said, Pop-Up, I remember you always saying the angle of pursuit. So he's been a football runs in our family back to 1940s when my dad played at Hobart.
Wow.
I played at Hobart. My son played at Winamac, and of course Gavin played at Winamac. So yeah, I keep kidding him that him and Radke is going to have to share a room. And he says, what do I say? I said, just tell Rusty your grandpa said he needs to shut up and listen for a minute. But how exciting for a kid that age to be able to be in that atmosphere of the All-Star game. So I'm really excited.
He's going to learn. I think he'll pick up a lot of things.
There's no doubt. There's no doubt.
Really.
Coach Ney has told me, he goes, being on the sidelines with your grandson is like being on the sidelines with a college coach. He is able to analyze the game. Of course, he watches game film like crazy. And he's just a football person that, when he played at Hobart, Yeah, I wish he. No, I don't wish he played at Hobart. I had people at Hobart asking me to move there, but anyhow, when he played at Winnemac, he was center, so he called the blocking assignments on the line. Then, of course, he played defense. So, he would like to get a little bit more involved in offense. I think someday he'd like to be a head coach, and I know there's already some interest been pushed out there for him to eventually get there. So.
Well, I am very excited about tomorrow. I do. I appreciate. I know Chris does as well. You inviting us, it means a lot, and we'll get to learn a lot tomorrow, and maybe see some of our area schools maybe down there, huh?
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
Again, he's got to be quiet. Yes. Got to be quiet.
Yes.
Look at us trying to pry some information.
I'm trying. Hey, I'm doing what I'm paid for.
The area will be well represented. Guys, I love coming up here. I love local sports. Like you said, man, I've been, knee deep and chin deep in sports at Winnemac since the day I moved in. As we were unloading the car at our rental house,
I remember you telling me.
I said, "I'll be right back," and everybody's like, "Where are you going?" I said, "I got to go find the head football coach. I need a job." And I looked up Coach Roth, and he said, "Hey, we're playing in the Jamboree or whatever it was at that time over at Culver Community." He goes, "Show up. I'll have a book and a pencil for you to do stats, and then the rest is history, boys." There's hundreds and hundreds of books up there with my chicken scratches in them from doing stats over the years. But I made so many friends. The Hendricks family, Josh and Burgess and Brandon Burgess. I love those two. And Mark, they've been so good to my family and I through Brad's illnesses and his death and through my wife's death, and they're always there for me. And it's just people talk about family, and I tell my relatives up in the region, I said, you guys don't understand small town connection. Going through now with the votes and politics coming up, of course, a lot has happened in Pulaski County. And, my point is we are never going to be a big city. Stark County is we're always going to be a rural county. Stark County, Pulaski County, we're not going to have an $80 million battery plant. We're not going to have U.S. Steel building on Highway 39 and 14. So we have to maintain what we have to take care of what we have. A very good friend of mine, Sheila Jimenez, is running for the county council. She's been on it. We have a lot of good people running. It's going to be a tough decision this year, but man, we got to take care of ourselves, boys.
Yeah.
We got to take care of ourselves. If we don't maintain and take care of our own stuff, we can't depend on somebody else to do it. So
yeah.
It starts at our house
locally.
Starts at our house, and if you're not maintaining and doing it at your house, then don't go ask somebody else to help you.
Yeah,
you got to jump in. I've always tried to be part of the solution and not part of the problem. Sometimes I cause the problem and then I help find the solution. But
you're still trying to be the right person. You're still trying to do the right thing.
I just try to do the right thing for my community, my family, and my area. Because we're all in it together. I don't like that it takes a village, because we're not a village. But I like the fact that our community can come together. People can run against each other for office and still go buy their groceries there, or go to dinner there, or buy their gas there. And that's what we have to do. We got to stick together. It's small town America. I love it, and I am always afraid that someday it's going to disappear. But that's me.
Yeah. Well, we'll plan on seeing you tomorrow.
Man, guys, just walk in, enjoy the atmosphere, take it all in, get there a little early. Fantastic food, fantastic fellowship. Like I say, you'll see a lot of coaches, and you get to hear me talk, because I do tend to talk once in a while, I've been told. So.
I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait. I'm excited.
And I appreciate you being in here to talk about it this morning.
I appreciate you giving me the time to do it.
No, absolutely.
I just wish we could open it up to the public, but to do that, we would have to have
bigger space,
a football stadium or something.
Right.
Maybe that's in the works in a few years.
I don't know. Paul and I aren't getting any younger, boys. I'm telling you.
You have to find somebody.
We keep looking ahead, saying, we only got another 30 years. I'll be 108. So I mean, we got to get moving on some of these ideas.
Get him locked in now. Well, thanks, Al. I appreciate it.
Hey guys, thank you much. See you tomorrow, and come and have a great time. And I hope you enjoy.
Well, we'll look forward to it.
All right,
we will. Thank you, sir. That is Al Breyfogle here on the Saturday Sports Line, getting Chris and I ready for tomorrow's Griddy Awards in Indianapolis. We are heading to 56th Street, where the Colts practice complex is. Very excited to get back at my old stomping grounds. Don't go anywhere. We're going to talk with Brent Jones, head coach of the South Central Satellites Baseball Club, coming up next.
Trying hard to recreate what had yet to be created. Once in her life, she musters a smile for his nostalgic tale. Never gonna do what you wanted to say, only to realize it never really was. She had a place in his life.
It's hard to believe, but time sure does fly by. Collins Insurance Agency in downtown Knox are celebrating over 30 years of taking care of all of your insurance needs in our communities.
If I could turn back time.
And we're not going anywhere. Stop in and see Jim and the crew at Collins Insurance Agency in downtown Knox. Insurance you can count on from a business you've trusted since 1989. Proud presidential partners of Western Reserve.
Stay tuned for more sports talk with Mitch Columbi on Kankakee Valley Broadcasting's WKVI.
At First Farmers Bank and Trust, agriculture has been a cornerstone of our business for more than 135 years. Our personal relationships within the ag community run deep for multiple generations. If you're looking for a financial partner that knows, understands, and supports agriculture, I'd love to hear from you. I'm Isaac Blue, Ag Banker at First Farmers. Come into our Knox, North Judson, or Culver branches, or visit us online at ffbt.com when you're ready to talk about growing your operation. First Farmers Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal opportunity lender.
Coke Zero is now Coke Zero Sugar, with great Coke taste. Some people were excited to hear the news. Some were skeptical. So we're not going to have the star of the show you're watching come out and say, "You'll love it." No special jingle written by this week's hottest pop star. No famous internet celebs who happen to be holding the label just so. Okay, maybe just one little pour shot. The only thing that will make you believe Coke Zero Sugar has great Coke taste is trying it yourself. Ice cold Coke Zero Sugar. Try one today.
Since 1936, Standard Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning have always taken pride in doing the job right. Third-generation owner Brian Hammond and his family have always set the standard when it comes to taking care of all your heating and cooling needs. Making your home a comfortable home is the absolute top priority. If you are uncomfortable in your home, give them a call at 574-936-4660. Follow them on Facebook. Let Standard Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning help you take control of your comfort. Let's continue the conversation with area high school coaches and more on the Saturday Sports Line.
Back from the Pulaski Memorial Hospital studios, this is the longest-running high school sports show in Indiana, thanks to our very own Harold Welter. This is the Saturday Sports Line. Mitch Columbi along with sports analyst Chris McGowan. We just had a chance to catch up with Al Breyfogle. A lot of fun there. I'm looking forward to tomorrow, Chris. Should be a good time.
Yeah, it should be a real good time. I'm looking forward to it as well.
We had a chance to talk Knox Redskin baseball before that with head coach Dustin Waters. That was a great interview. Now we are transitioning to talk South Central boys baseball with head coach Brent Jones. They've got a big-time game today. I've got him on the line. Good morning, Coach. How are you?
Doing good, Mitch. How you doing?
Hey, we're doing pretty good, Coach. Very excited for this coming Monday, but I know you're thinking about today. We're going to be seeing you take on the Tri-Township Tigers this coming Monday, so I'm very excited to get a chance to see your boys out onto the diamond. But I know you're preparing and all thinking about today. Let's catch our listeners up. What have the Satellites been up to start the season?
Yes, we're off to a 3-2 start. We got a couple wins against Wheeler and Whiting where came out swinging the bat, scored 15 against Whiting and put up 12 against Wheeler. Had a couple tough opponents. We fell to Portage, fell to Plymouth, and we fell to Fairfield. Faced some pretty good arms there. Really just weren't able to get the bats going. We gave up some early runs and weren't able to, come back from the deficit that we gave up early.
Who on this team do we need to know about?
Yeah, we got a lot of talent. We're coming back. We got 13 seniors on the roster. Didn't lose anybody from last year. Braden Bratz is probably our ace on the mound. He's going to play at Mississippi Gulf Coast Junior College next year. He's a great pitcher. Got very good offense. Again, returning a lot of guys. Zach Hanshire playing third base, middle of the order guy. Tommy Sullivan was the middle of the order guy. He's over at first base. We got him leading off now. Billy Bird is swinging a hot bat right now. Hit a home run last night, along with the double. So, we feel like we're in a good spot with where we're at right now.
Coach, it's pretty interesting. This is my second year doing sports here at WKVI, and something that I caught on very quickly last year and now this year is baseball is taken pretty seriously there at South Central.
Yes, it is. The the culture, obviously it's my first year, but came in with a culture that's been established here at the school. The kids love baseball. I mean, shoot, for a school with 70 kids in a class, like I said, we got 13 seniors here that are all very, very talented. The support from the administration, the students, it's a pretty cool thing here at South Central, what we got going.
Well, okay, so you came in, it's your first year at South Central. Tell us a little bit about yourself, coaching philosophy maybe, and where you went to school and where you played, and who's actually helping you this year at South Central.
Yeah, so I'm originally from the state of Iowa. I came out to Valparaiso. I played at Valpo University, graduated in 2019. My philosophy as a coach is really I want to give the athletes. I want them to play free. I want them to be themselves on the baseball field. I don't want to put a lot of pressure on them. Like I said, here at South Central, I'm fortunate that there is a lot of talent. So as a coach, I'm just looking to give them the confidence they need, the motivation they need to be the best version of themselves. On staff this year, we do have a new assistant. His name is Zach Jansen. He's been here at South Central for about 10 years. Great guy, knows all the kids. So fortunate to have an assistant that, he's a teacher in the building, so the kids know him, they respect him. But yeah, like I said, I just want, as a baseball team, I want a team that's confident in themselves, and as a coach, I'm trying to give them that confidence that they have. They know I believe in them, I trust them, and I'm giving them the confidence they need to go be the best version of themselves.
Coach, you come into today. Looks like you're. Sorry, I lost my page here. Looks like you got a big game today. Here, you're taking on New Prairie. You're hosting them. What do you know about New Prairie you can share with us?
Yeah. Again, they're a very good team. They're going to be very well coached. They play the game the right way. They're going to throw strikes. They're going to make plays behind them. We gotta come out ready to go. We got our ace on the mound. Braden Grass is going. So the weather's beautiful. It's a great day for baseball.
Yeah, it looks like on Monday where we'll see you against Tri-Township, that'll be your first conference game of the year. Talk about how important it is to be one of the leaders in the Porter County Conference.
Yeah, absolutely. We established our team goals, and obviously, winning conference is on our list. So Tri-Township, right down the road from us. I know a lot of the boys know the players over there, so there's no need for me to get the boys motivated. It's going to be a high intensity game, and I like where we're at.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Coach. Wasn't there a recent signing? One of the baseball players at South Central actually was signed to University of Kentucky. Am I correct?
That is correct. Bradley Farrell. He did sign to Kentucky. He, unfortunately, last year at the end of the season, he had Tommy John, so he is not able to play for us this year, which that is unfortunate for us. But he's a great kid. His future is bright. He's going to be a heck of a ball player as he continues through his career path.
Absolutely. Did you mention the coaching staff by chance?
Yeah.
Yep.
My apologies.
No worries. It's a brand new staff. Coming in here, I wanted to kind of set my own mark on the program. I came in, like I said, Zach Jansen's a new coach on staff. Alex Schweitzer, he's a gentleman. He just wrapped up playing his college baseball. Tommy John, he's actually looking to go back, but it's a brand new staff. We're a younger staff, but I like, we're a high intensity. We like to keep the spirits light and light, but at the same time, we want to keep it competitive here.
Who do you have on the mound for you today?
Today we got Braden Grass. He's actually signed. He recently signed. He's going to play college baseball at a junior college in Mississippi called Mississippi Gulf Coast.
Wow, that is so awesome, Coach. I'm so excited for Monday. I wish you well today. Good luck against New Prairie. I sure do appreciate your time. We'll get a chance to chat on Monday, okay, Coach?
Yep, that sounds great. I appreciate it, guys.
All right, that is head coach Brent Jones of the South Central Satellites Boys Baseball Club here on the Saturday Sports Line. We certainly appreciate his time. We're going to stay with South Central. We're going to talk track and field with head coach Derrick. That's on the other side. Don't go anywhere. You are listening to the Saturday Sports Line.
Learning how to sew.
Daddy's drinking beer, listening to the radio. Hank Williams sings Elijah and Dear John. And time marches on. Time marches on.
Pulaski Memorial Hospital. Quality care closer to home. Pulaski Memorial Hospital is all about community and keeping our community spotlight shining on the accomplishments of our youth. That's why PMH is proud to be a sponsor of our local high school sports action on WKVI, our community radio station. Pulaski Memorial Hospital. Quality care closer to home.
Stay tuned for more sports talk with Mitch Columbi and Chris McGowan on the longest running high school sports show in Indiana, the Saturday Sports Line.
The Stark County Co-op has been a member-owned farm services co-op in Stark County since 1928. That's over 90 years, and they're still providing the same quality agronomy services to the farming community of Stark and surrounding counties. The Stark County Co-op is an LP and fuel provider. The Stark County Co-op purchases grain at both locations, Hamlet and Brems. You can reach them by phone at 1-800-782-3392.
Since 1936, Standard Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning have always taken pride in doing the job right. Third-generation owner Brian Hammond and his family have always set the standard when it comes to taking care of all your heating and cooling needs. Making your home a comfortable home is the absolute top priority. If you are uncomfortable in your home, give them a call at 574-936-4660. Follow them on Facebook. Let Standard Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning help you take control of your comfort. Listen for more insight in local high school sports on the Saturday Sports Line. Here's your sports director, Mitch Columbi.
Welcome back to the Saturday Sports Line, the longest running high school sports show in Indiana, thanks to our very own Harold Welter. Big time shout out to Harold Welter. I invite all of our listeners to stay tuned for the second hour, where he will have his Where Are They Now segment. But right now we are talking South Central track and field with head coach Derrick Deck. Good morning, Coach. How are you?
Good morning. Good. How are you?
I'm doing great, man. We had a did you have something?
Oh, no, I was just going to tell him to get up to the mic to hear you a little bit better.
No, hey, we had some good news come out. We shared it on social media. I made the announcement at the beginning of the show, but also I wanted to have you on to talk about the rest of this team. Mm-hmm. We had a chance to talk to you last year, I believe, so catch us up to speed. What is it about the track and field team we need to know about this year for South Central?
Well, this year all of our seniors have improved immensely, which they were phenomenal as juniors. But as seniors, they've put in a lot of real hard work in the off season and then through cross country. So they're coming in and they're really owning it this year. We're still waiting on some results from a meet we just had at Boone Grove, but we should have taken quite a few places when we were with them. So we're just waiting, but they're really performing very, very well.
Now, are you involved with the indoor track team?
Yeah, we have put a lot of effort into indoors, and it's a good way to have, freshmen or incoming athletes break the ice and get an idea of what a track meet looks like. Mm-hmm. Plus, it gives our veterans a great opportunity to see what their competitors look like this year. So last year we ventured into it a little bit, and this year we did it a lot more. And then I anticipate that we're going to keep pushing more and more into indoor meets.
So would you say that maybe better prepares them for the outdoor season?
It truly does. I mean, they broke a lot of records. Of course, you don't have, climate conditions to worry about. So it helps out.
More.
Yeah. It's a much more energy type of environment,
Well, there's a lot of events that go on in track and field. I did shot put and discus for a year. That wasn't a very good year for me. But talk about let's just talk about some of these young individuals that are on your team we should know about.
Oh, as far as throwing, we have some girls that are just launching it, whether it be a discus or a shot put. So Elizabeth Richmond, she's second year on the team. She's doing really well. Gage Mortis, She did phenomenal. I think she threw 70-foot shot or a discus.
My goodness.
Braden Lockenbach is like a cannon this year.
Oh man, he's a big guy too.
Yeah, and he grew like 3 feet since last year. But yeah, he threw 120, I think, in discus.
Wow.
So again, we're waiting on the results. It's been a few days, but they're just launching it. And then Owen Ryan's really good too. And we brought in Owen's dad, Mark, as the throwing coach. So he's really helping us out.
Well, one thing I remember from doing discus is it's all about the technique, and I just could not get that down. I mean, you've really got to have good balance when you're spinning in the circle like that, either doing shot put or discus. But also talk about some of the runners as well.
Yeah, our runners are, Zach Kimmel's going to do just amazing things even into college. Very talented, and there's not a day he doesn't think about running. Matt Duttlinger is out there running the 800 really fast for us, and his legs are like a Clydesdale, so he's good at long jump too. Yeah, and then Dayton Merli, he out of nowhere at Boone Grove decided to run the 800. And yeah, the first
wow.
Yeah, and it's in the first like 200.
And he's just normally a pole vaulter?
Yeah, and high hurdles.
I see.
Yeah, he's really good at that too. But he doesn't normally run a lot of running events because pole vault usually takes him the whole meet. But he was honestly trying to keep up with Zach the whole time, and he made it about 200 meters before Zach put him in the dust. But no, it was really good. We've got some good runners. We have some exchange students this year. We do every year, but our girls, Kate Pezdorova, she's from Turkey. She's running really good. We're going to try to put her in some high jumps. A new student of ours, Katie Davison, she lives in Valpo but goes to South Central, and she's running really fast. And we just got a good composition of boys and girls that are running well and throwing good. Yeah.
Are you the lone coach, or do you have a coaching staff?
No, I could not do this by myself.
Sure.
Trust me, there's just too many events. And when I came on last year, I'm more of a long distance runner over the years, so I didn't know my butt from my hat as far as tracking. but Dayton, his dad, Darren Merli, is a huge asset to the team. June Kimmel is like the team mom as far as helping organize things. Braden Lottenbach, his mom was helpful with throwing last year, and she'd always been integral in that part of our team. And Mark Ryan this year. So, and we brought in, I'm a deputy with the Sheriff's Department, and a fellow deputy of mine, Jake, he decided to come on and help us with pole vaulting.
Okay.
So we're lucky that Jacob Payne was really good at LaPorte High School and carried it into college. So he's given some mechanics to our jumpers and pole vaulters this year.
Well, and you had some impressive news for your pole vaulter, Dayton Merli, come out this week.
Yeah.
Let's tell our listeners what happened if they didn't see it on social media.
Yeah, Dayton shattered the record that he's been looking for ever since he got into pole vaulting, but he jumped 13 foot, and he's done it twice. I mean, he did it in indoor, and then he just did it at Boone Grove. And interestingly enough, because their facility is brand new to them, he's the first pole vaulter to jump at Boone Grove.
He got the record.
Yeah. It was great.
Well, and you said, and correct me if I'm wrong, you had told me that record had been held since 1975.
Yeah.
And who was it that held it? Do you know?
The last name's on the board. We were looking at it the other day, and I done forgot. I texted it to you. I can't remember.
No, you're fine. But
1975. And then I was told by Darren that gentleman had lived on the same street as the Merlis.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Something's in the water over there.
Just be careful with what you're getting ready to say, because I wasn't born until 1976. So just be careful. That's a long time. That's old.
It is a long time.
Be careful. All right, Coach.
92 was a long time.
I mean, I love track and field. Other than the 100 and 200, to me, I always liked the most exciting race to me is the 4x1. How's your 4x1 teams?
Our 4x1, I mean, we're looking to really strengthen one of the three legs, but our 4x1 is really good. I mean, we worked in conditioning to try to make sure everybody was running the 100 at like 11, and we have several boys who are. So last week we positioned it because we were supposed to have back-to-back meets. The rain messed that up, but we sort of shuffled people around. So I'm imagining that we're going to take some stuff with the 4x1 and our 100. Ben Bashensky's really fast, and he was out last year because he was still recovering from a knee thing that he had.
Right.
But yeah, we have some good 100 runners.
What is in your opinion, with track season now just starting out, what are some things you're seeing as the head coach? I mean, how many years have you been the head coach now?
This is my second year with them.
So what are some things that you're learning from this team, or have you learned in this team that, does it look like this could be a really good team come postseason?
Oh, absolutely. Especially with the big three, Kimmel, Duttlinger, and Merli, they likely will advance through the post, I would imagine.
Now, with that being more of it is a team, but at the same time, it is about individual making sure you're on time. What are some of the guys or some of the girls telling you their goals are for this year?
Everybody sort of just rallies around whatever we've set as a team mission. And that's the one thing about track and field which is interesting, is that to advance through the season, of course, you need to be performing well as a team. But when you're on that field or, around the track, you got to make sure that everybody's focused on each individual. So my whole mission with our kids is when you're not performing something, you better be cheering somebody on, because it is an individual sport, but it's that collective number that'll carry you. And they have their own ambitions. Some of the younger kids are still trying to feel out which event's best for them, but the veterans are a huge mentorship for them. They're showing them things and filling in for coaches that aren't present perhaps on any given practice. So they're striving for excellence. And with South Central, it's such a great school. I've been to every school you can imagine in LaPorte County, and I found just the greatest set of morals and humanity in that school. And these kids are friends on the field, off the field, and basketball and baseball and volleyball. The coaches, we all get along. It's really a big, huge family. So they're always striving for greatness in what they do.
So weather permitting, what's on tap this week for you?
We have we're over at Culver against Culver and Oregon Davis on Monday. That's going to, I think, look pretty good for our kids. And then we're at home on Wednesday.
Nice. Yeah. So very busy and all weather permitting. Man, I hope we can get some good weather in
Well,
this
it's supposed to be like Florida this week.
That's what I've been seeing.
Alaska last week and Florida.
Yeah.
Knock on wood.
Yeah.
Indiana. I've said it. I think I said it every week. It's Indiana. Wait 5 minutes. You don't like the weather.
Exactly.
Yeah, it'll change.
Exactly.
Well, Coach, I sure do appreciate you coming in and talking about this. Now, real quick, you did mention off the air that Dayton has he was happy with his 13-foot, but he's got other plans, it sounds like.
He's wanting 14 real bad.
Jeez.
And he spent most of last year every time he'd go up to that pole, he'd hold it and he'd think, all right, I got to beat 12.9. I got to beat 12.9. And now that he's set the record, like before the season, really, it's pretty much he's looking at 14 every step of the way. And Kimmel is looking to constantly beat his records. So his name's already on the wall, but he's wanting to keep putting it up there. And he's really eyeing the 1600, but that's pretty, or the 4x4. I can't remember which one it is, but that one's really low. So,
well, one thing I remember about Zach Kimmel, of course, he was one of our Tyler Roth WKVI Athletes of the Week last year. I think it was for cross country. I remember this year I was setting up for a football game at South Central. And I get there about 2 hours, or I'm very early because I'm just weird like that. But anyway, guess who was running out there on the track? It was Zach Kimmel.
Of course.
And he had a buddy of his. I don't know who it was. I assume it was on the track team. But I'm sitting there thinking, man, here it was in the middle of cross-country season, and he's on the track on a Friday night while I'm preparing for a football game. I thought, man, this kid's dedicated.
And that's and that's the same with Duttlinger and Merli, which we are calling our big three right now. But Merli will jump out of his barn. I've been at his house, and he'll literally just, jump out of the barn, land on a trampoline, and up in the air. He's constantly doing something. He's been to Bethel to get private coaching there. Duttlinger, he's a farm kid. He's constantly working hard. He's going to probably easily clear 21 in long jump this year.
Wow.
So, yeah. Yeah, they're always working, these kids. And that's why I love South Central, because the kids, when they're into something, they go 100,
Well, I appreciate you making the trek to talk with us about South Central Track and Field. It means a lot.
Well, I appreciate you having me.
We'll keep in touch, and even if we don't talk to you, we'll make sure to talk about you guys when you get the results to me. Okay,
that'll work. Appreciate it.
All right,
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. That is head coach Derrick Deck of the South Central Satellites track and field team here on the Saturday Sports Line. We're going to go to the top of the hour. Our Athlete of the Week interview with Clayten Strauch from South Central is coming up next.
From the Pulaski Memorial Hospital studios, quality care closer to home. You're listening to WKVI FM 99.3. Knox, North Judson, Winnemac, playing the best of vinyl gold. A service of Kankakee Valley Broadcasting.
It's time now for Hour 2 of the Saturday Sports Line with your host, Kankakee Valley Broadcasting's WKVI Sports Director, Mitch Columbi, and sports analyst, Chris McGowan.
From the Pulaski Memorial Hospital studios, this is the longest-running high school sports show in Indiana, the Saturday Sports Line. It's time to talk about our Tyler Roth WKVI Athlete of the Week from South Central, junior volleyball player Clayten Strauch. Clayten is one of the main pieces to the puzzle when it comes to South Central boys volleyball. He leads the team in assists with 207. He also is one of the top in his class. Quite the sharp young man. Without further ado, here's my sit-down interview with South Central Satellite Clayten Strauch. All right, I'm with our Tyler Roth WKVI Athlete of the Week, Clayten Strauch. Man, Clayten, this interview is long overdue, let me tell you that. We've been calling your name out quite a bit on the broadcast when we see you in football, basketball, but we are here for the simple fact you are on this fantastic South Central boys volleyball team. You lead the team in assists with 207. You also lead the team in serving aces with 17. I mean, you're one of the main key players on this team. Talk about the sport of volleyball. What made you want to come out?
The reason I came out is because it was new here and I'd never played it before, so I just wanted to see what it was about. And I mean, with the team last year, we had a few people come out, a lot of seniors, and then we lost them all. So we have no seniors on the team. I'm just playing. You know, we got Jay, which really helped. He's pretty good. And I mean, Logan, he's been doing great. Brad's been doing great. Our libero, Dylan, he's improved drastically over the last year. And we got a couple really good middles with Preston and Jake. I don't know. I played baseball for a while, like all my life, and didn't really fit anymore.
Sure.
So kind of just transitioned to volleyball, and I'm really liking it.
Yeah, there's a lot of athletes on this team, you know, former basketball players. Of course, you're a football player as well, we talked about. When you come out for volleyball, what's it like playing for Coach Fossauer?
Last year, he was pretty lenient. I mean, it was our first year, so he was just trying to get us in the groove of things, you know, figure out basic stuff. But this year, he's kind of cracked down on, you know, the more mechanical things, not messing up as much in areas where we shouldn't be messing up in. And it's been pretty fun having him coach us. I mean, pretty good coach, played pretty high level, so I like it. I like it a lot.
Yeah, you guys have been getting a lot of games in a short amount of time here. It's incredible how you're already halfway through the season. What's the goal for this team?
I'd say improve. Maybe not win anything, but I hope we do. It'd be really fun. But, I mean, we're all coming back next year, so that's the year I'm really looking forward to. With everyone improving so much more, people going to camps. I mean, I've talked to a few guys. They said they'd like to come, so it's going to be fun.
Talk about the coaching staff. Maybe what are the coaching staff's goals for this team this year?
I think Paul would like to see us win, maybe a sectional. I don't really know who's even in our sectional yet, but I think he'd really like that. I know Wade would like that also. And Coach Miller and Coach Like, Coach and JV, I think they'd like to see us succeed as well.
You know, something that stands out to me, Clayten, when I've seen you on the football field, on the basketball court, and then hearing stories, of course, playing volleyball, it just seems like
you and the group of guys are really close and you're friends away from school. Am I correct in saying that?
You're exactly correct. I mean, coming from a small school especially, you already talk to most of the people that you're playing with. So especially spending that extended period after school, like almost every day, just playing a sport that you guys like, it really just builds friendships outside of the sport. That's going for all three sports.
Yeah, and another thing we announced was all three of your head coaches, including the football coach, basketball coach, and your volleyball head coach, all three of your head coaches voted to have you placed on the South Central Athletic Council. What an honor does that feel like to you?
Oh, I'm very grateful for all three of them. They've all helped us out, helped me out especially, in just growing as a person and in the sport. I'm very, very excited to be on it and very thankful for them to nominate me.
Yeah, of course, we get to talk with head coach Buzz Schoaf a lot in the fall. What's it like playing for Coach Schoaf?
Schoaf, he's a scary guy, I'll say that. I mean, he's not usually mean, but when he gets mean, he gets mean. And that's what I actually like about him a lot. He really, especially if you're not taking practice seriously or just messing up a lot, he'll really crack down on it. Not in a mean way or anything, but he'll let you know that you need to step it up and put in your effort that the team needs.
Yeah, you move on into basketball. Head coach Matty Bush in his first season here. What was the year like under head coach Matty Bush for basketball?
It was a little rocky at the start, really trying to figure out what he wanted with the team. But as the year went on, we had a few seniors who stepped in, helped out a lot. And as the year went along, we really picked it up, and I think he was a good pickup for us, especially due to the fact he's played at such a high level and coached at such a high level. And at the end of the season, I thought we were going to pull something out, but we just came up short. Yeah. Looking forward to next year.
Yeah, definitely. The games we saw, man, they were so much fun, and you guys have some great shooters on this team. But you get in there on the basketball floor. I mean, when you're on the court, you really give it your all. You're definitely one of the scrappier players I've seen in this area. What gives you that drive? What gives you the energy? Maybe not just in basketball, but also football, volleyball, altogether. What gives you that drive?
I mean, knowing that I might not be able to play these sports ever again, it really pushes me to just, give it my all out there. Really nothing specific, just the love for the sport and the love for the intensity that the sport brings.
I've also been told you're very, very good academically, one of the top in your class. What is it between athletics and school? I mean, you're just really, you're doing things the right way here, Clayten. What's that make you feel like, knowing not only are you doing things right athletically, you're doing things right academically?
Just knowing that I can get my schoolwork done and over with after practice, because I mean, most of the time you can get it done in school. I mean, it really helps out focusing on the sport afterwards, but also knowing that you'll have a sport really just drives you to play, because if you don't get the grades, then you can't play.
Tell me your parents' names.
I got my mom is Carrie Strauch, my dad's Ryan Strauch.
And talk about the support system they are for you.
I mean, I'm so lucky to have them as my parents. I mean, ever since before I had my license, I mean, every practice they were there picking me up, dropping me off. Even early or late, I'll text my parents. We don't live far from the school, so it's not that big of a deal if we run late, but I'll text them, let them know. They're just so great at supporting me, at being at all of my games. I don't think they've missed more than 10 in my whole time playing sports. That goes down to elementary basketball in 4th grade, playing on Saturdays. And I mean, even on Sundays, I play wiffle ball, so they're at all those too.
Yeah.
And it's just really nice having them. I really appreciate them.
You enjoy going to school here at South Central?
I mean, I wouldn't go anywhere else around here. I mean, this is where I have been since before kindergarten.
Yeah.
I mean, most of my family's went here on my mom's side, and I wouldn't really want to go anywhere else.
What's your favorite class here?
Oh, it's got to be aiding for Miss Spear. It's easily the favorite. I mean, we just sit around and talk the whole time about nothing specific, but we just talk, and she's also helped me through some things.
Sure.
So it's great having her.
What's it mean to Clayten Strauch to be a South Central satellite?
means the world. Wouldn't want to be anywhere else. It's my favorite part of living around here is, coming to this school especially. I wouldn't want anything else.
You finish up volleyball here in the spring. You'll then enter the summer, your final summer of high school before your senior year. Well, you'll then play football, basketball, and I assume volleyball again. 3-sport athlete here and academically sound. What are your goals going into senior year at this time?
My goals, I just want to bring people out, really show them what the sports are like. There's a lot of athletes here who still don't play, even though it's such a small school, and you'll see it. Bringing people out, really showing them that it's okay to love a sport so much to play it and do good academically. The academics really push you to play the sport and vice versa, so I really just want to see everyone in all my sports succeed.
Is there anybody you'd like to say hello to this morning?
All my family, really. My grandma, grandpa, all my aunts and uncles, my brother, my sister. And I'd like to thank the Roth family for being a part of this and part of nominating me for the WKVI Player of the Week.
Well, hey, Clayten, I sure do appreciate your time today. Good luck in the future. I know it's not the last time I'm going to see you, so keep up the good work in school and keep working out, getting that nutrition in. You're looking good, man. Keep it up, all right? Good luck.
Thank you. I look forward to seeing you as well.
Well, I certainly appreciate Clayten for his time. He's actually one of the first athletes of the week that has mentioned the Roth family and thanked them. So I thought that was very, very nice of him. Also, big time shout out to Athletic Director at South Central, Missy Santana, for helping me set that interview up. As we are going to take a break and come back, more sports talk is coming your way. You're listening to Kankakee Valley Broadcasting's WKVI.
The Stark County Co-op has been a member-owned farm services co-op in Stark County since 1928. That's over 90 years, and they're still providing the same quality agronomy services to the farming community of Stark and surrounding counties. The Stark County Co-op is an LP and fuel provider. The Stark County Co-op purchases grain at both locations, Hamlet and Browns. You can reach them by phone at 1-800-782-3392, the Stark County Co-op.
Stay tuned for more sports talk with Mitch Columbi and Chris McGowan on the longest running high school sports show in Indiana, the Saturday Sports Line. Since 1936, Standard Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning have always taken pride in doing the job right. Third-generation owner Brian Hammond and his family have always set the standard when it comes to taking care of all your heating and cooling needs. Making your home a comfortable home is the absolute top priority. If you are uncomfortable in your home, give them a call at 574-936-4660. Follow them on Facebook. Let Standard Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning help you take control of your comfort.
It's hard to believe, but time sure does fly by. Collins Insurance Agency in downtown Knox are celebrating over 30 years of taking care of all of your insurance needs in our communities.
If I could turn back time.
And we're not going anywhere.
Stop in and see Jim and the crew at Collins Insurance Agency in downtown Knox.
Insurance you can count on from a business you've trusted since 1989.
Proud presidential partners of Western Reserve.
Here's more with area high school coaches as we return to the Saturday Sports Line from the Pulaski Memorial Hospital Studios on K99.3.
Back from the Pulaski Memorial Hospital Studios, this is the Saturday Sports Line. Mitch Columbi, along with sports analyst Chris McGowan.
You gotta let me know when we're going live, dude.
Well, you heard the thing. We're counting down. I said we're going.
You didn't know. No, you gotta give me the hand signals.
Okay, I'll work.
We gotta point at me at least.
It's just year two.
You.
We're still working.
We're still working on the communication.
Well, that was a great interview by Clayten Strauch from South Central. great athlete of the week is long overdue. He's a standout athlete in football, basketball, and now in boys volleyball, just doing a great job for head coach Paul Fossauer and Satellite Nation. Just a sharp kid, one of the top in his class. But we're transitioning to North Judson-San Pierre Lady Blue Jay softball with head coach Gary Baxter. My goodness. Head coach Gary Baxter. Back for more, Coach. It's good to see you.
Thank you. I just like to say it's more fun seeing the behind-the-scene WKVI stuff than it is actually doing the show.
That's why we don't have a camera.
No, okay.
That's probably
you don't want to. You don't want to have any legal evidence against.
We don't live cast this.
I've been asked. Why don't you guys have a camera and put? I said you don't want to see what goes on in there.
I've got a face for radio. We'll just leave it at that.
But Coach, we got a chance to talk. We get a chance to talk all year long. Really, we see you in football season. Of course, you've got that amazing playlist we talk about every time.
It's always fun to go to Judson.
Oh man, it is fun to see a Judson football game, especially when you're running the PA there, the music anyway.
Thank you.
But of course, the last time we talked, what was it? That was last spring out there on the bench. You remember we pre-recorded that?
Yeah,
that was,
I think I got to close out the year, right?
You did. That was our last show there in June. The first show in June last year. So. I mean, I know you guys have been working a lot, and we keep an eye on your social media page. Of course, I see a lot of the girls when we cover them in basketball. You've got several sport athletes on this team, and we know how seriously you guys take it. You punch in the clock to time in, get ready to work, you punch out. I mean, it's just really cool what you've created, the culture-wise. I know you didn't end things the way you wanted it to last season, but I think that gave you a little fuel to the fire as well as the girls. Am I right?
Oh, absolutely. And I hope you don't mind before we get started.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I just need to borrow a moment's time. I need to wish a beautiful young lady happy birthday. It's my wife's birthday today. So happy birthday, Amanda. I love you. And thank you so much for giving me a moment to wish her happy birthday.
You said yes to coming to this interview today?
Yes. Well, she went to the casino last night, so she stayed out with her family. So, yeah. So
you're in the clear.
I'm in the clear.
Yeah, you're good. Well, you're definitely in the clear now that you wished her happy birthday on the air. Kudos to you, my man.
Thank you.
Very
Happy
smart.
birthday.
Well played. Well played.
Thank you. To go back to the actual question, yes, we did not end how we wanted last year. That was a very, very tough loss, especially when we were up the whole game and we ended up losing in 9 innings by 1 to the sectional champions. And it really did. It did change. It changed how I coached this year. It changed these girls, and really, it's kind of we didn't go through a game with that much pressure ever in the entire history of North Judson Lady Jays softball. And that game really did change all of us. And we've talked about it. We get pretty emotional about it because we were so close. We were this close to really achieving our goal and doing something we'd never had done before. And even though we had won a sectional game, last year's first sectional victory was the first in school history. It was really something that we had been looking for. And we were just so close to that. And this year, it's really lit a fire under us. We've been working so hard. The girls have just been doing things instead of being asked to do things. So the weight room, we've been hitting that very, very hard. Our girls are stronger this year. We've been hitting so much this year because that was a lot of our problem last year. We were struggling to put the ball in play. And we've been just refocusing what we need to do to get to our goals this year. And I'm very proud of our effort this year. The girls have been just refocused to just say, hey, I got to do what I got to do to really do something we've never done before. And I'm very proud of them for that.
You know, one game that sticks out to my mind, of course, we're going to be there again this year, was that first game I saw you guys against Knox. Man, that was a fun game, and Molly Madsen as a freshman just had an outstanding game that day, as well as several other Lady Jays. We're going to be there again this year, but as exciting as that team was last year, I mean, it sounds like you guys are not just taking the next step, you're taking the next leap here.
Yeah, we really are. And we lost a lot of senior leadership last year. We had a couple girls that we had a leader in the infield, and my daughter Kennedy Baxter, who graduated, and Liz Schaponi, who was a center fielder. But we had girls step up this year, which really is refreshing and surprising. They don't lead the same way that they do, but we have had a surprising amount of leadership come out of Reagan Hensley, our senior first baseman. And she's a player who I've worked with for 4 years now, and she's become an incredible player. She really gets it on the basketball court. She got a honorable mention all conference. But man, I always say she's a softball player. She really is. She always makes tough plays. She always says the right stuff on the field, and she's always there for the girls. She's an incredible, incredible leader this year. Same with Anna Garbison, who played basketball as well. And we've moved her over to center field, and she leads different as well. She's a very, very caring young lady. She's always, whenever something goes wrong, before I can even get there, she's there. Hey, what's wrong? You can do this. Always saying all the right stuff, and it's incredible. And I'm her uncle as well, which I'm incredibly proud of that. It's something just to see a young lady grow. I can't be more proud of her, you know. And my daughter Emma Baxter, she's an outfielder as well, senior. She's doing great. She was our right fielder last year. She's been just doubling her efforts to make sure that our outfield is successful this year. And Brandy Frederick, she's been hitting like crazy this year. She has a little bit of an injury, but it hasn't stopped her bat. She's leading the team in batting average, I think, with a couple other girls. She's up there. Man, she's just torturing the ball right now, and I love it. I have very, very good seniors, and I'm so proud of how they stepped up this year when we had some pretty big losses last year. So like you said, we weren't afraid of the challenge. We stepped up to it.
So let's talk about the coaching staff. Who do you have with you again this year?
I have the same coaching staff as I've had, and Chris Mattson is my assistant. Sam Chambers is my assistant who works with the outfield primarily, and then Jamie Shoddy is I always say she's my right-hand man, even though she's a young lady. She does exactly what I need all the time. She's excellent, and we have a great staff, and I'm very, very proud of them. They've grown alongside me, and sometimes I can be a lot to tolerate sometimes, but they always bring me back to where I need to be, and they deal with my shortcomings at times. So I'm very proud of them, and I wouldn't want to coach with anybody else.
So let's talk about how the season has gone. You know, it's hard with Indiana weather and the way it's been the last 2 or 3 weeks. How many games have you guys? How many games have you played? And where are you sitting at record wise?
We're 2-0 right now.
Okay.
And we missed the Morgan Township game because that was the day that it rained the entire day.
Right.
And then even some into the next day. So we missed that game, and that is it's a big loss because that's a well-coached team. They're very tough. And I'm the type of coach, I want to play the tough games. I want to play those so that we can learn. We can see where we're actually at.
Man, you might have learned that from somebody that coached you long time ago. Maybe.
Yes.
I don't know.
Wait, you coached him?
Yeah.
Yes.
Why did you not tell me that?
I'm pretty sure I've told you this.
Right. Yeah.
Wow.
But anyway.
What sport?
Basketball. He was my freshman basketball coach.
I did not know that about you, Chris. Wow.
Dude, I've been around the block a time or two.
Yeah.
I knew that. I just didn't know which block.
Yes. And I have a great story. It's something that I've taken from him. And I remember this. This is honestly a core memory that I've taken from you and put into my own coaching. We were in practice one day, and it was not a good practice. It was going very poorly. And he goes, everybody on the sideline. We're doing Bulldogs. And I was mad. I was piping mad because I was doing well. Nobody else was. And I was like, well, I'm just going to give it my all. I'm going to go as hard as I can. And I think I finished probably 3 Bulldogs before the rest of the team finished. I slid in on my chest, got up, looked back, and I'm like, come on, let's go. And we missed the time. And I was mad. I was steaming mad. And he was mad too. I mean, I don't know if you know him well, but he
Do you remember this?
Oh, I think I know where it's going.
He goes, everybody back on the baseline. Gary Baxter, get out of here. And he rewarded my hard effort. And it's like, I gave him what he wanted, and he saw that. And it's something that I do today. Like, I gave everything I had, and that should be recognized when kids do that. So I was like, whoa, like, I did what he wanted. I gave everything I possibly could, and he sent me off early because I was the only one given what I had. And that's something that I do today, and it really motivates kids to give more when you reward 100% effort.
Well, and then let's talk about the pitching. You know, we mentioned Molly Madsen. She was spectacular in her freshman year. It's really quite amazing. But who else do we need to know about?
Oh, well, before we go on without Molly had 14 strikeouts the other day. She's hitting hard already, so she's pitching very, very well. She's I think 19 on the season so far. She's pitching exceedingly well. She tied the school record last year in strikeouts, so I think she will get that record, and then she'll get the all-time record as well. Great kid, and she's really working hard on her third pitch this year. And without our catcher, Sophia Chaffins, Molly wouldn't be who she is as well. She's a great kid. She's top of her class in academics. She's up there. Great catcher. She made all-conference honorable mention last year as a catcher in her first year learning that position. So she has been incredible this year. I'm always pushing her, and sometimes she doesn't like it so much, but she is a kid who we couldn't be who we needed to be without her. She's incredible this year. I have a great battery in Molly and Sophie. At third base, this is a big one. Kenya Cooper. Okay. She's our third baseman. She is just hitting the ball so hard this year, and I haven't seen a kid so locked in a long time. This kid really, nothing's getting by her this year. She's had some really, really hard balls hit on her in these 2 games, stopped every single one of them, and confident in the entire way this year. I'm so happy with her effort this year. I couldn't be more. And because of her effort, we are able to kind of work with our freshman shortstop, Alyssa Lambert. She's Coach Lambert's niece. Yep. And this kid is an athlete. Man, this kid is an athlete. It's been an adjustment for her. She's never really played at a higher level of softball, so playing this position isn't quite what she expected. There's more to it. So she's all over the field, and she's not used to it. So with that comes Coach Baxter, always coaching her nonstop, very hard all the time. But this kid loves it. She loves to ask questions. She loves to learn. And she also can take hard coaching, which we love, right? Hard coaching.
Amen, brother.
So talk about the goals for this team this year.
Obviously, sectionals is a big one. That we want to do very well in sectionals this year. We want to repeat what we did last year, but go beyond that. We talk about it all the time. We set the expectations that when we get in the tournament, we want to do some damage. And if you guys ever go into the gym in North Judson, we have all the sectional championships up on the board. We have these shields with all the championships. And the glaring one is softball. It has nothing on it. And we take a picture of that. That is our group chat picture. So that's the first thing you see whenever I message is this. There's no championships on that. And it's part of developing the culture, right? This is our goal. We're shooting for this. We want it very, very bad, and we work so hard for it. That's the ultimate goal is to have a great tournament. And the other one is to build up during the season. We play a long season. There is a week, if you guys look on Max Preps, we have a week where we, I think, literally play 5 games in a row, and those weeks are tough, man. And it's hard to have a week like that where you're away a lot. But I need the kids to understand that we're building for the tournament, and sometimes games aren't going to go our way, but we have to stay confident and ready ourselves for the tournament. That's the primary goal. And just personal growth with the girls too. I love the culture that we've built here. I love how the girls treat each other. I've not had a lot of issues with character traits and having to address that, but there are times where I do. But they always respond to it. They always do the right thing. They apologize. They make things right. And I think with the goals this year comes personal responsibility for the girls, and they've really leaned into that and accepting that they need to work hard to get to these places and do the right thing.
Well, you started off the season very strong against Westville at home, 7-3, big time win. Then you're on the road to North White, 9-5. You're 2-0, like you said, and just like you mentioned, on the 16th here, you're going to start playing some conference teams.
Oh, yeah.
But from the 16th to the 30th, so 14 days, you're getting 10 games in those 14 days, weather permitting, obviously. But now's the point where you're entering the conference battles. What's the goal in the conference this year?
The goal in the conference this year is to try and slay the Beast Caston, right? They're the
so you have first on the 16th,
and they're coming off a beautiful run to state last year where they came up a little bit short. They're a very well coached team, very difficult team. But last year when we played them, we were about 4 innings in until everything went wrong, right? So we played them tough. We know that we can hang with these teams if we can play and do the right things. But there's always in softball, there's generally an inning where the game's won or lost. And we're looking to really stave that off and just play tough. And we've changed how we are playing this year. We're trying to play a little more small ball, putting the ball in play, bunting, looking to be more aggressive on the bases, and understand when we are more aggressive, we are going to make mistakes, and sometimes good plays are going to happen and we're going to get thrown out. But by trying to win the game, we're going to get to where I think we're going to be, where we can compete in our conference and try to take down these big teams. So the goal this year is obviously to try and get first, but we understand we have a mythical dragon in Caston, who's always a great team. And not to mention we have Pioneer, we have Winnemac, we have Knox, who are well-coached teams too, that they're all competing for the same thing. So it's an awesome conference. I love this conference, and it's going to be sad when Knox exits it, but it is what it is. We're just there to compete and try and do our best.
Well, I was going to say, putting the ball in play, that actually it puts the pressure obviously on the opposing team. I mean, if you never put the ball in play, they have no pressure. They don't have to never have to make a play. So
exactly
by putting the ball between the white lines and forcing them to have to make a play, I mean, it takes all the pressure off of you and puts it all onto them.
Absolutely. And we have a freshman, if you don't mind me telling you about her real quick. She's her name's Olivia Tim. She's a right-handed batter. She came in. She's an excellent athlete. And she wasn't quite where we wanted her to be hitting-wise. So I asked her, I said, hey, let's try and turn you left and teach you how to slap this year. And she was really, really nervous about it. But she's such an athlete. She's gotten into, I think, both games and gotten hit in both games by slapping left. So this is a girl who's right-handed. We've turned her left, and she's put the ball in play, like you said. And, man, she's caused chaos. She's gotten on every game. And this is as a freshman learning to hit left-handed. It's spectacular. Right. And that's all, like he said, is just put the ball in play, make the defense make a play, and you're in good shape.
It's obvious that your team buys in. They buy into what you're selling, Coach, and they really enjoy it. You've got 3 games on tap this week, 2 of which are Hoosier North Athletic Conference opponents. Caston, that's on Tuesday, and then on Wednesday, hosting both of them. Again, hosting Caston and then hosting LaVille.
Yes.
And then you'll see Frontier on the 19th to button up this coming week. What are some immediate goals right now that you're preparing the team for a busy week here?
The immediate goal is to come out, without thinking, is to come out 5-0, but the more important goal is to come out saying we did everything we could to win those games. There's, as Coach could tell you, there's days where you can play perfect and you're not going to win, and that's just that's why you play the game. So the most important goal is to come off those fields and say we did exactly what we planned to do. And there's just things we need to work on and fix. So that's where we're at right now, is just trying to find out where we're at. We've not played enough games. Like he said, we've only got, with this weather, 2 games. And I know there's a lot we've got to work on, and we've been working on those things, but we need more time to get on the field. There's a lot of those teams, if you look, they've probably played 5 or 6 games where we're only at 2, and it's tough. It's like this every year. We always kind of start a little slow and then build up. So we just need that time, and that's the goal, is just play those games, play them hard, and come off saying we did this. We need to work on this, and we can get to those things, because I know my girls are bought in and will do the work.
Well, you mentioned a little earlier that you enjoy playing tough opponents. You said that Caston had a magical run last year all the way to state. You see them on Tuesday. Maybe this is a gauge to see where you guys are at right now.
Oh, absolutely. They're always a great gauge. Like I said, last year we played them very tough for about 4 innings, and then it kind of fell off. This year, the girls know that Caston's a good team. So when we go in there, there's things I look for. How confident do they look? How are we approaching our at-bats? What do we look like on defense? Are we hustling? Are we moving? It's a great gauge, because if you don't do those things against Caston, they will take every single thing they can. They'll take every base. If you don't pay attention, they'll delayed steal.
It's going to be a learning experience.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Whether win or lose, it's going to be a positive experience, because you'll gain that. Hopefully, obviously, going to win the game.
Yes.
But no matter what happens, you go up against a team like that, they're going to show you what it takes or what you're going to need to do in order to beat a team like that. So
absolutely.
Exciting week for you guys, man. I hope everything goes well. We're of course, going to see you on the 23rd here in 10 days, where you're hosting the other school in Stark County. But very excited to see you guys out and about this year. A lot of fun doing softball games at North Judson-San Pierre. Of course, we're going to have your good friend Nathan Orger join us for most of the season. I know he does public address announcing for you guys, but maybe we'll sneak in a couple comments from him here and there in the radio. That'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it is fun. It's fun watching him do his thing. He keeps us on our toes there with his announcing, and it's honestly been fun watching you learn about softball as well. I've seen you grow a lot in these last couple of years, and I think you sort of enjoy it.
I do, actually. You know, I'll be honest with you, I love baseball, but softball is fast-paced.
Yes, it is.
And that's one thing I kind of enjoy. I love things, because it's basketball, moving fast. Nothing against baseball. I love baseball. It's more slowed down. It's thought out. But softball, man, it is just a fast-paced game.
Yes, it is.
What would be your message to Blue Jay Nation in hopes they get out to support these Lady Jays this season, Coach?
My message would be that I know that the people in the school see how we work, and it's been appreciated and conveyed to me that they see it and they really appreciate it, and it makes them proud. I would love to see people come out and really see the fruits of this labor. If we could get those stands packed and say, hey, we're here to support you guys, win or lose, and really start building that fan base where when you go out to a game, it feels electric. And we have moments like that when we do play the other Stark County team. Those stands get packed, but it could be like that with other games too. And it's so fun. It makes us play at a different level. And I would love to have the community come out and support us so that we can show them what we can do.
It's awesome because when we did we've done a couple of games at Judson where the individuals in the cars in the outfield are listening to us at the same time. Chris had a moment in football where he asked someone to turn their headlights out in the south end zone, and they flicked them off right away. And then last spring I had a game where I said, hey, if you're listening out to us in the outfield, give us a wave. And sure enough, here comes an arm out the window waving at us. It's just really cool. It's just fun getting over to North Judson and just doing ball games. The support that Blue Jay Nation provides for you guys is huge, I know. And to get to some softball games this year would be a little icing on the top.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, Coach, thank you so much for being here this morning to talk about your team. We're going to see you a lot this season, and won't be the last time we talk with you.
Thank you.
All right, that is head coach Gary Baxter of the North Judson-San Pierre Lady Blue Jay softball team on the Saturday Sports Line. Where are they now? Up next. Don't go anywhere.
Stay tuned for more sports talk with Mitch Columbi on Kankakee Valley Broadcasting's WKVI.
It's time now for Where Are They Now? A look back at more than a half century of local high school sports coverage on Kankakee Valley Broadcasting's WKVI. Today's program is brought to you by Osborne's Mini Mart in Knox. Now let's meet one of the local high school sports figures from more than 50 years of WKVI sports and find out where are they now.
As we look back on more than 50 years of broadcasting high school sports in the Kankakee Valley here on WKVI, we're going to do something a little bit different on our Where Are They Now segment because we want to talk some golf. You know, it's golf season now, and we've had a number of former local athletes who have gone on to play golf at the collegiate level and at the professional level. You know, you look at those Pew guys down there in Winnemac, and hey, they know how to play the game of golf. And of course, the Culver High School principal Brett Barrett played varsity golf at St. Joe College, and his son is playing at the collegiate level as we speak. Or not his son, it would be his nephew playing as we speak. So we have a pretty good background in golf here, but we want to talk about a golf tournament that's going to be coming up, Mitch.
Yeah, it seems pretty special here, Harold. I'm glad we were able to at least get this on the air here on the Saturday Sports Line. Of course, the Cheryl Welter Foundation, the Cheryl Welter Family Charitable Foundation. Such an amazing thing that you've been able to put together, and you just gave me your book. I'm very excited to have a chance to read through that, of course. But you're always busy, Harold. You always got something scheduled, but I'm really excited about this. I'm not a golfer myself. You don't want to see me swing a golf club, that's for sure. It's embarrassing. But I am very excited about what you guys have put together here.
Well, we're going to have a benefit golf tournament in June, on June 22nd, the first annual Cheryl and Welter Family Charitable Foundation Blue Eyes Golf Tournament. I'll explain what the Blue Eyes are a little bit later on. But the Cheryl and Welter Charitable Foundation, who, for those who may not know, the mission is to change the lives of underprivileged kids in rural Indiana schools. And the way the foundation does that is they work with teachers who work with underprivileged kids in our rural schools and provide small grants for those teachers to do those little things. You know, so often teachers are digging into their own pockets to get those little things that they need, that they can't fit into a budget. And certainly some of those little things, it would be impossible for a school corporation or certainly the state of Indiana to say, okay, we're going to give some resources to buy additional colored pencils.
Sure.
You know, I mean, they just can't do that.
Right.
So the teachers end up digging into their own pockets. So what we have done with the Cheryl and Welter Charitable Foundation is we work with those teachers and we provide 20 grants 3 times a year, in January, in April, and in September. And those grants, maximum grant is $600. But it's amazing what teachers can do with a few $100 in their classroom. And so that's what this is all about. And the Cheryl and Welter Charitable Foundation has been giving out these grants now since 2018. And we've given now 288 grants in 42 different schools in 21 different school corporations.
Wow.
And the only requirement of applying is that the resources need to be used for the underprivileged, and has to be from rural schools. And not that there isn't a need in the metropolitan areas, but they have access to more resources than we do out here in Knox or Culver or Winnemac or North Judson. And just this past week, we've delivered 20 more grants to those local teachers. And so that's what we do. And a good friend of ours had decided that, hey, maybe we ought to have a golf tournament, because he's a golfer. Monty Clendaniel, who was a graduate of South Central High School, came up with this idea, and he said, let's have a golf tournament and see what we can do with that. And so we'll talk a little bit about that here in a minute. But the bottom line is that the golf tournament coming up on June 22nd is to benefit the Cheryl and Welter Charitable Foundation. And we talked about the grants that we've given, and we've given out 288 grants, and I'll bet they're being used in 200 different ways.
Well, and what's interesting, Harold, is on social media, you see the pictures and you see the schools, especially our local community schools, that have been in support of this, and they love it. It just seems like the schools that are on board with you really know that this is a really good thing that you've put together.
Well, it's much needed, and the grants have been given for things like comfort closets, or kids can go and get needed items without anyone really knowing about it. You know. And one of my favorite grants that we gave was to a school, a teacher who had gotten a comfort dog for their school and needed some resources to train the comfort dog. So I'm going to go get my picture taken with mustard up there at Tri-Township here before long. But so the teachers basically write their own grants, and the way they are chosen, because we get 45 applications, And, there are other grants available in the state of Indiana, but most of them are big.
Right.
And they are specified for one thing only.
Correct.
And it takes 30 pages and signing in blood to get into the running, and your chances of getting one are slim and none. And so what we've done is we've made it very simple. Teachers tell me it takes them 15 minutes online to fill out the application. And then we have a selection committee of 3 people, and they each read the applications that come in, and then they list them. Hey, my number 1 choice is this, my number 2 choice is this, and my number 3 choice is this. And the 3 judges don't talk to each other. They judge them separately, and then we put the numbers together. That's how we decide where that's going to be. And one of the neat things, Mitch, is of course, you always wonder when you're giving away money, is it being used properly? Is it being wasted and so forth? The teachers are people of such integrity that our maximum grant is $600. If they don't need $600, they don't ask for it. Last cycle, we had a teacher get a grant for $286.30.
She had it down to
exactly. And I asked her about it, and she said, I have 4 students in my class who cannot afford some kind of a special calculator. And 4 of them cost $238.30. That's all she asked for. You're dealing with that kind of integrity. You don't have to worry about whether the money is being wasted or not.
Well, and also they know that this foundation, I mean, at this point, this isn't the first time you've been doing it. This is several years now that you guys have been rolling this along, and I think it's really catching on.
Yes, we've given out 288 grants totaling over $125,000.
Wow.
And we've gotten just tremendous support from all over. We were looking the other day, my assistant and Aaron and I were looking the other day, and since we started getting donations back 5-6 years ago, we have received donations from 33 different states.
Wow.
And people, with locals, most of them with local ties, but some of them just heard about the work we're doing and want to help. And so it's grown. And we've given out, as I said, to 42 different schools, 21 different school corporations, all the way from Jimtown and Elkhart County down to Boswell and Benton County. And so we're excited about what we're able to do to help teachers. And when Monty Clendaniel came up with this idea of having a golf tournament, it's the first annual Cheryl and Welter Family Charitable Foundation Blue Eyes Golf Tournament. And I'll tell you what the blue eyes means after we pause for this timeout.
Need a game plan that has your day covered from tip-off to the buzzer? Osborne's Mini Mart in Knox has you covered. Whether you like to start out with a caffeinated full-court press or control the tempo with a Subway breakfast flatbread, Osborne's Mini Mart has what you need. Don't get trapped in the corner with an empty stomach. Call a quick timeout and get 2 hot dogs. Visit Osborne's Mini Mart in Knox at the corner of US 35 and Highway 8 East to guarantee you win the day.
Well, here in our Where Are They Now segment, we're doing something a little bit different. We're talking about the first annual Cheryl and Welter Family Charitable Foundation Blue Eyes Golf Tournament that is going to be held on June 21st at Chesapeake Run Golf Club over at North Judson. And
I have to know about the Blue Eyes. Where does the Blue Eyes come into play here?
Well, one of the sports that our Cheryl and Welter played in was golf. She played 1 year of golf, and she had played golf some, but had never been on a team before. And she convinced her best friend, Becky Vollmer, to go out for the golf team their junior year. And the way she convinced Becky, she said, we've got to go out and play golf because the coach has the most beautiful blue eyes you've ever seen. The coach was Kelly Shepard.
over at North Judson-San Pierre now.
Yes, exactly. The superintendent at North Judson, and he was a coach here at Knox at the time, and so that's the reason they went out and played golf. Well, a couple of years ago on our radiothon, our all-day radiothon, which we have every August here on WKVI to raise donations for the foundation, I had Becky Vollmer come on just to talk about her relationship with Cheryl and the fun things they did together and so forth. And one of the things she did is she mentioned the reason that I played golf is because Cheryl convinced me because the coach had beautiful blue eyes. And of course, then I said, and the coach, of course, was Kelly Shepard. Well, Kelly wasn't listening to that radio show at that time, but his phone just exploded. I mean, the people over there at La Crosse were just all over him, and he's saying, "What's going on? I don't know what they're talking about." So we thought we would remember Cheryl in that way because she played because of the coach's blue eyes, and so anyone with blue eyes who comes to the tournament is going to get a blue golf ball.
Really? Okay, I like that idea. Well, it's at Chesapeake Run.
It's at Chesapeake Run on June 21st, and it's an 18-hole, four-person scramble.
The 22nd.
22nd, I'm sorry, yes, the 22nd. And individual cost is $60 a player, or a foursome for $200. If you have a company or a family or a corporation that would like to be one of our sponsors, that's $2,000. And it's an 8-hole, as I said, four-person scramble. And Monty Clendaniel is a really good golfer. He plays a lot of golf.
So this is a full 18 holes.
It's a full 18 holes, and he has come up with so many things that are going to give people an opportunity to win things. Mm-hmm. For instance, you will have a chance to win a new car with a hole-in-one, or I think maybe there's going to be a couple of golf carts you could win.
Wow!
And he's got some special things. We've got a pro golfer who said for a fee he will tee off for you.
Whoa!
On one hole.
Okay,
and he can drive that puppy 300 yards.
Yeah.
You know. So of course there'll be the longest drive award and the longest putt award and all kinds of things as part of that. And for your $60 entry fee, you get a pocket T-shirt, a sleeve of golf balls, a golf towel, and if you have blue eyes, you get a blue golf ball. So there are some giveaways there, and I'm going to be available to putt for some people if they want me to putt.
Okay.
I could never do anything in golf except putt. That's why I quit golfing many years ago, but I'll try it again for this. And so there's just all kinds of fun games that are going to be going on, and your entry fee also includes free hot dogs, brats, burgers, chips, drinks. Our friends at 5 Star are going to provide all of that, and so it's going to be an opportunity to have a lot of fun. And of course, all the proceeds, 100% of the proceeds, go to the Cheryl and Welter Charitable Foundation to help teachers, as we were talking about before the break.
Well, now, and correct me if I'm wrong, you also said that Mr. Clendaniel had come up with a potential traveling trophy. Am I correct in saying that?
I'm glad you brought that up. Yes, we're going to have a traveling trophy. It's going to be a really nice trophy that Bill Webb down there at Webb Printing is going to provide for us. And that traveling trophy will go to the foursome that has the best score. And of course,
competition.
Oh, well, little competition. You know, I can just imagine. I told Monty, so you're going to have some pretty good golfers in there, and you have that foursome that comes up a stroke or two short this year. They're going to want that trophy next year, so maybe they'll come back.
Exactly. That's perfect.
It really is, and it dovetails perfectly because of Cheryl playing golf in high school, and golf being really big around here. And of course, that Chesapeake Run Golf Course is one of the best layouts around. Very, very challenging at times. And as I said, you'll have a chance to win a car if you can get a hold of one.
Hey, I could use that. I could use a new car. So where does someone go who's interested to register?
Well, they can just go to our website, or they can contact us at cherylskidsteam@gmail.com, or they can go to our website, which is www.cherylskidsfund.org, and sign up there, or they can call me, 574-850-8853. We'll get them on. And if you don't have a foursome, you're just a single, tell us. We'll get you together with a foursome. We've had already a couple of people doing that. And we've gotten some sponsorship from all the way out in Maryland and New Jersey.
Wow.
And so it's
getting the word out.
Yeah, we're getting the word out, and we appreciate the opportunity to talk about it. And here we are in April, but those golfers are already looking at their summers.
Yep, they are.
So that is June 22nd at Chesapeake Run Golf Club at North Judson. Starts at 9 o'clock with a shotgun start. And if you want more information, just go to get a hold of us. But we're looking forward to having a lot of folks there and just having a lot of fun.
Well, it looks like it's going to be a great event, Harold. Another one that you've put together. Boy, you're just doing it all.
No, I have friends who put it together. See,
well, that's part of it too.
Yeah, yes, absolutely. And we can't say thank you enough to Monty Clendaniel and his organization for coming up with the idea, and they're doing most of the work. But you know me, I can talk about things. I can't always perform, but I can talk about things. So,
well, I'm glad you're here today. Thank you so much for being here.
Well, we appreciate the time, that's for sure. And this Where Are They Now segment, we hope where you are on June 22nd is going to be at Chesapeake Run Golf Course and have some fun with us. Join us again next week here on the Saturday Sports Line for Where Are They Now?
Where Are They Now? A look back at more than a half century of high school sports coverage on WKVI has been brought to you by Osborne's Mini Mart in Knox.
Join us each Saturday morning on WKVI for the Saturday Sports Line and worldwide on WKVI.com.
Time now for our Tyler Roth WKVI Athlete of the Week, given in memory of Tyler Roth, a 2001 graduate of Winnemac High School who died in an auto accident 1 week after his high school graduation. His legacy of hard work, outstanding citizenship, artistic success, and super athletic performance lives on with this award, given every week to outstanding student athletes from the 8 schools in the Kankakee Valley. Today's award is brought to you by Web Printing and JT Shirt Shack in Winnemac, and we'll tell you who's earned the Tyler Roth WKVI Athlete of the Week after this word from Web Printing.
Web Printing and JT Shirt Shack and signs of all kinds in Winnemac is where all of your printing needs can be met. Whether it's paper, garments, or signs, Web Printing is your full-service printing solution. So if you're in need of embroidered or screen-printed garments, tickets or programs for your event, or documents for your business, Web Printing and JT Shirt Shack is the place to go. For the quickest service, best prices, and best quality, it's Web Printing and JT Shirt Shack in Winnemac.
Our Tyler Roth WKVI Athlete of the Week for this week is Dayton Merli, a member of the track team at South Central High School. Dayton is having an amazing season for the Satellites. This past Wednesday, he broke the South Central outdoor pole vault record of 12 feet 9 inches set in 1975 by clearing 13 feet at Boone Grove. Dayton is the son of Lisa and Darren Merli, as we congratulate Dayton Merli of South Central, our Tyler Roth WKVI Athlete of the Week. Dayton will receive a certificate, a history of the award, and a t-shirt commemorating his achievement, and will also be a future guest on the Saturday Sports Line. He will be eligible for our Tyler Roth WKVI Athlete of the Year award later this spring, which carries with it a plaque and a college scholarship, compliments of WKVI and the family of Tyler Roth. The Tyler Roth WKVI Athlete of the Week is brought to you by Web Printing and JT Shirt Shack in Winnemac. I'll make sure to get with Mr. Merli this week. as that is another Saturday Sports Line down and in the books. We are so honored to continue this tradition here on KVB's WKVI, and we always appreciate our loyal listeners. Stand by for this week. A lot is going on. We start our spring sports broadcast season at South Central against Tri-Township. Should be a great PCC rivalry battle. Going live at 4 p.m. Central this coming Monday. Myself along with Nathan Orger. You don't want to miss it. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. I'm Mitch Columbi. The tradition continues.
From the Pulaski Memorial Hospital studios of Kankakee Valley Broadcasting's WKVI, you've been listening to the Saturday Sports Line with Sports Director Mitch Columbi and Sports Analyst Chris McGowan.